All right, go ahead, sit comfortably, relaxed but alert and attentive. And with each ring of the bell, take one deep breath. We'll take 3 deep breaths to kind of reset our breathing. And go ahead and just breathe normally now. Breathing in and breathing out. Just relaxed, letting your breath come and go, come as it chooses to. But turn your attention to your breath and letting your thoughts just come and go, pass like clouds through the sky. But you take your attention and keep it on your breath. Feeling throughout your whole body that breath entering as your belly rises. You feel it in your nostrils, in your lungs. As your belly falls, you feel the breath leaving, warmed by your body. The warm air leaves your nostrils. And then we move from one breath into the next moment, following that breath as your belly rises and falls. And just feeling that breath, being one with the breath as it comes and goes. We're sitting here a week before Christmas, a week from today. And one thing I always find so interesting about Christmas, maybe I don't know how much Catholics or other religions observe Advent. It was always a big thing in the Episcopal Church. You'd have Wednesday night meals for the 4 weeks of Advent, where mostly the women from the church would bring casseroles and hot dishes and Jell-O salads. And there's this feeling of preparing for Christmas. And I think that goes back to the idea that people were preparing for Christ's coming, preparing for something miraculous and wonderful. And we kind of feel that way too as kids. We're so excited we can barely stand another minute for Christmas to get here. And we hear those songs about Santa knows what you're doing, whether you've been naughty or nice. So before we even arrive at the day of Christmas, we've been working at being good. We kind of all get into the spirit of Christmas. It's a mixed blessing. Sometimes people at the stores or drivers are so stressed out, frustrated, that they're kind of the worst versions of themselves. But I think instead what we all try and be is the best versions of ourselves. You kind of prepare ahead of time. It's like I was thinking of, you're in 2nd or 3rd grade and the teacher leaves the room. When you hear her steps coming down the hall, you immediately quiet down and start behaving so that when she walks in, she finds a peaceful, happy classroom. And with Christmas season, Advent, there's that sense of part of counting down the days is preparing. For Christians, it's preparing for Jesus, which we would have seen as the coming of heaven down to earth. So making this place a very special place. And it feels that way at Christmas sometimes, where people are just a little kinder, a little more patient. And what I find so interesting is that we prepare for that thing that we think is going to change everything. Whether it's Jesus coming, the Buddhists believe there's a future Buddha coming, and they have to prepare and kind of make the way, make the world prepared for that person to come. And what I find so magical is that in that preparation, we already make the world into what we'd like to see it be when that being comes, when that moment comes. In getting ready for them, in behaving more kindly and patiently, compassionately, we've already changed this world. So that, in a sense, the Buddha or the Jesus Christ coming is almost an afterthought. It's not necessary. We've already transformed the world. We can see that a little bit in our mindfulness. We're working at trying to be present in this moment, feeling our breath as our belly rises and falls. We breathe in and out. And we'd like to be, as people do at Christmas, a better version of ourselves. We think into the future. Sometimes there's worry or anxiety, but other times there's just hope, and that sense that we think of how we'd like to be in the future, that we'd like to be happier, that we'd like to be kinder. And so we choose to stop, to take this pause, to give some attention to our breath, to feel as we breathe in, breathe out, and this moment turns into the next moment. But we do it without judgment, with attentiveness, just really paying attention to our lives, to ourselves, to this moment. And we choose our breath because it's such an easy thing. It's so deeply connected to our body, to our being alive, to kind of the ticking of the clock, the flow of time into the future. And we accomplish the same thing. It's the same kind of way that preparation becomes the very thing we're hoping to see and that we're preparing for. Practicing in this moment, paying attention, not judging ourselves, not judging our breath, the job we're doing, being patient. The main person we're dealing with when we're sitting quietly like this is ourselves. But we find we can be a little kinder with ourselves in this moment. Kind, and at the same time maybe a little hard on ourselves, and simply being aware of the ways we fall short of how we'd like to be, who we'd like to be. And the magic thing is that very awareness makes a huge difference. Acknowledging it makes us available to change with the next breath and the next. Lets us return. Our mind wanders, we return to the breath. We slip into judgment of ourselves or situations in the past or the future, or we slip into regret over the past or fear over the future. We can just be present here, practice that skill of just returning to this moment, realizing we've kind of wandered off the path and we get back on it. And so the path not only leads somewhere, the path really is the place we're heading towards. And these breaths, these moments, are a little like the Advent calendars we had as kids, where there was the excitement of seeing a sticker underneath each day as time progressed towards Christmas. Or some of them where there's a little chocolate or a small toy behind that door. Almost like a rehearsal or a taste of what Christmas will be like when there are the presents covering the floor under the tree and we get to open them and be surprised. We can see that this moment is a gift and a present. We don't know what it holds. We can approach it with gratitude and with an open mind, willing to be surprised. So we watch our breath, we sit calmly, we sit still. Again, we sit without judgment, kindness towards ourselves. And this very moment becomes what we'd like it to be. And if we wander from that, we can return. Each breath, each moment is, one of the gifts of it is that it's an opportunity to return, to come back to what we'd like to be, to get ourselves on that path. So try giving yourself and your awareness to that in each moment and in each breath. It can be in one way effortless to just focus your attention and realize that you can come back. But there's some work involved. It takes some effort. It takes strengthening that muscle of not judging, of pausing rather than rushing ahead, not having that mind that we have as children of wanting the moment of Christmas morning to be here right now. To practice a little patience, to let the joy of this entire season be present right now. There's a good reason it lasts for a month or 4 weeks. And as it used to in the old days, lasted for 12 days. So again, it wasn't a one and done, like we say about Thanksgiving. It was 12 days practice of giving and receiving, of sharing in the bounty of this life, good meals, good cookies, of just opening the gift of this day, of this breath, of this moment, with some amazement and wonderment. So that we can feel as though we're waiting for that moment when all will be well. We're waiting for a miracle. But in doing that, we bring the miracle right in to to our hands at this moment. We bring the gift right into our hands at this moment. So see if you can bring Christmas morning into this breath, into each breath in the coming week, and beyond Christmas morning. I think the one other thing that's a good practice for that is accepting with gratitude. Again, it's easy to fall into that mindset that too often we have as children, that there's always some sense of disappointment. We didn't get all we wanted. And instead we can look at what we do have, what we've been given, with some acceptance and some gratitude. We can do that right now. It might be difficult, but there's something within this moment. There's that gift that even in those difficult times we can find the wonder, the miracle of being alive, of breathing, and of sharing this moment. So try kind of taking that stance when you pause to pay attention to your breathing. Really feel Christmas open up and expand, of learning better ways to give, learning how much people matter to us, and learning that skill a lot of us could do better with, and that's receiving. Taking gifts and appreciating them rather than thinking, this is what I really wanted. See if this moment in this world transforms. If you try and let Christmas expand into every moment leading up to it, and for as long as you can, keep it in the forefront of your mind after. So feel that gift. You might even want to just think Merry Christmas with that in-breath. And as you breathe out, Merry Christmas to all. Simply breathing in, breathing out, pausing to unwrap the gift of this world, yourself, and this moment. So, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. I'll ring the bell and we'll take 3 deep breaths to end.